will read 5, 6 and then I will come to 7 and we can all do it together. Samangalaya Giro Vipra Suta Magada Vandinaha Gayakasya Jagurnedur Peryo Dundubayo Muhu. Translation: the Brahmanas recited auspicious Vedic hymns which purified the environment by their vibration. The experts in reciting old histories like the Puranas, the experts in reciting the histories of royal families and general reciters all chanted while singers sang, and many kinds of musical instruments like berries and dundubis played in accompaniment. Verse number 6. Raja samasrasta samikta dwara jigira grihantaraha chitra dvaja patakastrak chaila pallavato. Translation: Brajapura, the residence of Nanda Maharaj, was fully decorated with varieties of festoons, with flags in different places. Gates were made with varieties of flower garlands, pieces of cloth and mango leaves. The courtyards, the gates near the roads, and everything within the rooms of the houses were perfectly swept and washed with water. We can go to number 7. Gavo Vrisha Vatsatara. Everybody can repeat. Gavo Vrisha Vatsatara. Gavo Vrisha Vatsatara. Gavo Vrisha Vatsatara. Haritra Taila Rushitaha. Haritra Taila Rushitaha. Haritra Taila Rushitaha. Haritra Taila Rushitaha. Vichitra Dhatu Parashrag. Vichitra Dhatu Parashrag. Vastra Kanchana Malinaha. Vastra Kanchana Malinaha. Gavo Vrisha Vatsatara. Haridra Taila Rushitaha. Vichitra Dhatu Parashrag. Vastra Kanchana Malinaha. Gavo Vrisha Vatsatara. Haridra Taila Rushitaha. Vichitra Dhatu Parashrag. Vastra Kanchana Malinaha. Gavo Vrisha Vatsatara. word-to-word translation. Gavaha, the cows. Vrishaha, the bulls. Vatsataraha, the calves. Haridra, with a mixture of turmeric. Taila, and oil. Rushitaha, their entire body smeared. Vichitra, decorated varieties of. Dhatu, colored minerals. Barhastrak, peacock feather, garlands. Vastra, cloths. Kanchana, golden ornaments. Malinaha, being decorated with garlands. Translation. The cows, the bulls and the calves were thoroughly smeared with a mixture of turmeric and oil mixed with varieties of minerals. Their heads were bedecked with peacock feathers and they were garlanded and covered with cloth and golden ornaments. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has instructed in Bhagavad Gita 18.4.4 Krishi Goraksha Vanijyam Vaishya Karma Swabhagajam. Farming, cow protection and trade are the qualities of work for the Vaishyas. Nanda Maharaj belonged to the Vaishya community. The agriculturist community. How to protect the cows and how rich this community was are explained in these verses. We can hardly imagine that cows, bulls and calves could be cared for so nicely and decorated so well with clothes and valuable golden ornaments. How happy they were. As described elsewhere in the Bhagavatam, during Maharaj Yudhishthira's time, the cows were so happy that they used to muddy the pasturing ground with milk. This is Indian civilization. Yet in the same place, India, Bharatvarsha, how much people are suffering by giving up the Vedic way of life and not understanding the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Om Jnanatirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumritam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagaspate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Namaha Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Vaditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Deshatarine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Nangete Grim Nitripata Mahamande Shri Guru Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. I do the schedule, so I took the opportunity myself. Shantatma Prabhu was dressing the deities or doing some altar service, so I beg permission of all the senior Vaishnavas that I could share something that I get purified by sharing some of my realizations of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the purport, it is said that during Yudhishthira Maharaj's times, I was not prepared for this, but this popped up. The cows were giving milk. They were making the pasturing grounds muddy. I don't know. You all know we have a cow called Ganga. She was giving milk without a baby. She was going to the butcher. HG Prabhu somehow managed to bring Ganga here. When I came 2017, she was only milking cows, so morning and evening she was giving enough milk just for devotees and deities.
That's why the pasturing grounds here are muddy as well.
I heard Radhadesh or Bhaktivedanta Manar also had a cow like this. I'm not sure. But when cows are happy, see, like everything changes. When cows are looked after, the whole world changes. Vishwam Purna Sukhayate. It's like brings auspiciousness not just for humanity but for Vishwa, means like the whole universe. Even you can see in this first sloka, fifth translation, the Brahmanas recited auspicious Vedic hymns which purified the environment by their vibration. What is the Vedic mantra we know, we recite, which makes the whole environment auspicious?
Hare Krishna mantra.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. So we all know that when you recite some sound, when you say something, it is said that it goes around the world 7 times. What about the Vedic mantras, Hare Krishna mantras we chant every day? It's actually purifying the whole universe, right? Whole world. Even like, look at when Prabhupada came, most of the world was, except like Asia, India, most of the world was consuming so much meat. Now we could see that the world has started thinking in a different way. Veganism, there are so many alternatives that people kind of started thinking a bit more on. This is because of this devotional practice devotees do. It not only purifies us, but it also purifies the whole world. The sound vibration is so powerful that we know this story that there was this Gautam Rishi. One time he actually left his body. There was a demigod who was flying in an aeroplane. His aeroplane crashed, They couldn't figure out, our aeroplanes crash, but the demigod's aeroplanes don't crash. They're not Boeing, they're not, 707, 701, like one of those. They tried to inquire what was the reason. Anybody knows what was the reason? Let's make it a little bit interesting. Dadachi? Okay. Dadachi was the one who gave his backbone.
Yeah, he was buried in the States.
Okay.
Because of the holy place made the aeroplane to crash.
Anybody knows what would be the reason? If he was buried there, why would the aeroplane crash?
I don't know the reason, but is that Vimano, Vamano or something, that place? No. No?
You mean Vimana?
What the planes are called?
Vimana. Vimana means aeroplane, basically.
Vimana.
Vimana.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. What would be the reason? Why, when this sage, Giri Govardhan Prabhu says Dadachi, and I heard it from somebody as Gautam Rishi, so it doesn't matter whoever it is. A great saintly person's body was buried, and why would an aeroplane crash when it is flying above the body of the dead body of the
Buried?
yeah, buried in the
Buried
ground.
or burned? They buried it.
Like acharyas get buried.
Ah,
Right?
yes, okay.
Sometimes it's because there is a too lovely girl that is taking bath or playing the pilot lose control.
I think this is the story of Kardama Muni, right? Like Devahuti was so beautiful that demigods used to fall looking at her beauty from the aeroplane. So this is another Giri Govardhan Prabhu's nice. So anybody can think of why? Because the body was so much purified by the holy name. The body was emanating, the soul already left the body, but the sound vibration which the body emanates was so strong that the aeroplanes, when they pass, the sound vibration was interfering with the sound vibration of the aeroplane. You know, the aeroplanes, vimanas, in the higher realm, they are not run on matter, they are run on sound. Like, you know, sound is mantra. They use the mantra to manufacture things, whatever they need. So this vimana is manufacturing of the sound vibration. So that's the reason. Like, oh yeah, the sound has got so much impact on us that can elevate us or that can degrade us. So we have to be careful what we listen to, what we give our ear. Shravanam, that's the first part of devotional service. And here they're talking about culture. You see, when we talk about culture, when we go back to India, few hundreds of years, people were innocent, people were depending on the cows before the invasions. You all know that India was invaded by Mughals. After that, British invaded India. There is a famous letter, I don't know one of these general.
Queen Victoria.
Yeah, he wrote a letter, I think he came to the parliament and he said that it's very difficult to break this culture of India. I traveled all the way, length and breadth of India. I don't see one beggar and one thief. How is it possible? And we won't be able to. It's not even like something to do with God, right? It's something to do with culture. It's so deep rooted in India that later they started to prove that. How they started to prove? You see, like they quoted parts of the Vedas. Somebody even translated the Vedas, no, from England. I forgot his name. Yeah, they started misquoting the Vedas in such a way that Indians started getting confused. What we're doing is right or wrong. You know, cows was one thing. They started to. Mukunda Maharaj, I was in Australia. He was giving a class. He said that the way the Indians' brains are sharp because they drink cow's milk. So they started telling Indians that now you should drink buffalo milk. You become very strong. You know, if you tell somebody, you don't prove them that you're doing it. It doesn't give a big impact. So what they started doing, they kept a buffalo in front of their house to show that we are drinking buffalo milk. You are low class. You should start drinking. Big change again. English education. While growing up, my father worked for electricity department. For them, you see, like the traces of this manipulation done by invaders in India can be still seen. My parents completely, they cannot speak a sentence of English. They completely agreed and accepted that sending my school to an English school, that he speaks English, and it will change his life. We were not taught to, like the basics of, as I said, my father was working as when our transformer stopped working here, I was sending him pictures of the transformer. He was just telling me that how easy it can be, just put this wire this way, you don't need to buy a new transformer. We do this all the time in India, If I can come there, I'll fix your transformer. It's like so much precious knowledge is not being transmitted to us because English education is superior. Yes, we learned English, but everything else is left behind. Imagine what consequences it brought into village life in India, which is like so simple, Vedic life, it's even now many villages who don't have electricity, don't have TV, don't have internet. Life is simple. Raja, the life in Raja is simple, right? But look at the consequences there. The consequences of living in Raja, they are giving silk cloth and golden ornaments to the cows. Nothing we will lack. If we give up something, we will be worried, oh my God, what happens if I stop depending on the modern day civilization? I will be doomed. But no, the reality is Krishna gives the satisfaction. This idea of not taking up the Krishna conscious path is the greatest misfortune of a human being. Whichever part of we are in, India or Russia or Ukraine or wherever, that's the only solution for humanity. Let's go back a little bit. Where did it all start? How did the culture degrade so fast? Anyone can? As I said, I would like to keep it a little bit interactive.
Because of the 3 R's, the English education it is focused on 3 R's.
Little bit more. Where did it started?
They wanted to, because Lord Macaulay, he sent the letters to the English.
We have to go a little bit more. Srimad Bhagavatam. Little bit more. You are right. I don't disagree. But where did it start? My question is, where did it start?
Kali.
Kali. Very good. Very good. So what did Kali do?
He bit the cow.
Sorry, what's the question?
Where did it start? The culture of degradation of the culture.
When Kali was harming the 4 legs of Dharma.
Bull. Yes. The famous shloka, Abhyartita Dada Tasmai Stanani Kalaye Dadav Jutam Panam Striya Suna Yatra Dharmas Chaturvidaha. Petitioned by the personified personality of Kali, Maharaj Parikshit, what did he do?
Punished.
Abhyartita Tada Tasmai Stanani. What is Stana? Place. Stanani Kalaye Dadav. You can stay, you can reside. Kali, Maharaj Parikshit is giving Kali 4 places to reside. Alani Stanani Kalaye Dadav. Jutam. What is Jutam?
Gambling.
Jutam Panam. Drinking. Jutam Panam Striya.
Illicit sex.
Suna. Last one.
Intoxication.
Yeah. Wherever these 4 are happening, you can reside there.
Sorry, meat eating.
Suna, meat eating. So wherever these 4 happen, Kali is very rampant. I think practically it happens all over the world now. Right? Sorry? You want to say?
Kali is also in the common law. Gold.
Yes. That's the next part. I mean, we can see that the culture started. If you look at the whole context there, even then he was given a place, but later as Shringi kind of cursed Maharaj Parikshit, the later part of the story comes where Shringi cursed Maharaj Parikshit that he's going to die in a week. That's actually where the Brahmanical culture degradation started, because the highest of all the Varnas are the Brahmanas, and Brahmanas were never self-centered. Whatever Brahmanas did, like Giri Govardhan Prabhu brought out the name of Dadichi. What is Dadichi famous for? Who is Dadichi? What is he famous for?
He gave up his body for the Vajra of Indra.
Yeah, thunderbolt of Indra is made up of the backbone of Dadichi. When Dadichi was approached, when this Vritrasura was so strong. He was killing demigods like left, right, and center in the battlefield. He was by himself basically. He was so powerful. They couldn't fight with him. So they had to go ask Vishnu, please tell us what we should do. This is such a good lesson. When we approach the Supreme Lord, we should be in the mood, please help us that we can overcome this. We should not be, please give me this benediction. Vishnu, Krishna is also showing that, we as devotees should grow. I was just recently writing a letter to Maharaj, Jananand Maharaj, we are doing something with one devotee. I was mentioning that we want Maharaj's help to grow rather than Maharaj solving all our problems, So this is the same thing in this context of Rudrasura. We can see that he's been guided to grow. Vishnu is allowing them. And then Vishnu said, you see, Vishnu could have given a weapon easily, right? What he cannot do. Vajrayuda for Indra, he can just take my Sudarshan Chakra, go kill him, come back, give it to me. Or keep it, I'll make one more. Is that difficult for Lord Vishnu? No. Actually, Sudarshan Chakra was given to Vishnu by Indra. So it's like, how we can understand this is what I can learn from these pastimes. So they approach, the demigods approach Dadichi Muni. Dadichi Muni says, he jokes with them a little bit, He says, hey, what are you trying to do? Human body, he says, whatever it takes, I have to protect it. This is my body. I'm not going to give it. He jokes a little bit saying that I'm not going to give you. But he was just joking. When he explains, when for a higher purpose, we have to use this body for a sacrifice, we should do it for the pleasing of, for a higher purpose. So for Lord Vishnu's seva, no problem, I will give you. So he was showing us an example, so I was not prepared with that. So this culture of Brahmanical thing, of fall down, starts when the higher order don't follow the welfare of others. Brahmanas means they are the well-wishers of every living entity. All the other ashrams are guided, or how we can get closer to the Supreme Lord. This is the dharma of the Brahmanas. So that is where the culture starts to degrade. That's when later India was still pious. The invasions happened.
They even burnt the scriptures, right?
Yeah.
The Mughals and the British.
Oh, like so many temples were destroyed, But as you know, nothing can really stop. Atata Brahma Jigyasa is always there because Jiva, living entity, is always looking for the truth. Nothing can stop a human being from being inquisitive, because we are all seeking. We are always seeking Anandamaya Abhyasat. That means we always endeavor for happiness, but in the material world, you become a Hindu, or you become a Christian, or you become a Muslim, are you happy? As long as we take full shelter of the Supreme Lord, we will be baffled by the material energy every day. We will be shown, it's like the carrot tied to a horse, which is running, I'm going to find. So it's day in, day out, we're looking for happiness, but we will never find happiness. But you look at the other side, the Vrajabhumi, you look at Kurukshetra war, when what is the thing we can learn from Kurukshetra war? The Supreme Lord, Krishna, he will do anything for his devotees. He will do anything for the animals. He will do, the classic example is, you remember Arjuna was saying one place, Krishna, it's time now, let's go kill them now, something on this, I'm paraphrasing. Krishna says, no, my horses are tired, I have to give them some water. He actually, I heard that he makes an arena in such a way, it was covered in such a way that the water spontaneously starts to come, there is greenery around, the horses completely transform themselves into some other realm. They were not in Kurukshetra war, even though it is between the war, they were in Goloka Vrindavan. So this is what Krishna does when we take shelter of Krishna. You know, life becomes simple, your needs get fulfilled, we are not in anxiety. This is the real goal of human life, that we take shelter of Krishna, we become pious, we become Krishna conscious. You know, we are not greedy, we are not like these desires. This is somehow we have to transform the desires, because these desires are dragging us all over the place. You know, it's unending desires. You know, these desires somehow have to be transformed to the Guru Seva, to Krishna Seva, to ISKCON. You know, why not? You know, Prabhu, I gave my life to ISKCON. I'm struggling now. No, there is no struggle. It's Krishna's mercy on us. ISKCON was not opened that some individual will get benefited. No, it was not Prabhupada's mission. Prabhupada didn't look at his own family when he started the ISKCON movement. It started that we become Krishna conscious, we take advantage. I come from South India myself. Nobody gives generously the philosophy like Prabhupada. Nobody. I tell you, I have smartas living around. I think I must have said this always, you know, in my classes. Yeah, we are very fortunate. But these desires, coming back to this desire, have to be purified somehow or the other. You see, we have this one thing, I have this one thing I do and then I'll be okay, you know, but the one thing leads to something else, something else, something else, something else. It's like a web, like it's like the internet thing, you know. You go into internet, you want to listen to your class, oh, there is something else under, click it, oh, something else, class becomes somewhere, class is gone long back, you know. So yeah, it's up to us how we're going to dovetail our desires. Like the example is given that you look at a whale, you know, a baby whale is jumping, it's all beautiful, it's nice. You think there is one whale and two baby whales, but there is a whole heap of herd underneath. Go deeper and deeper, you see unlimited of them. So it's the same with our desires. Somehow we have to purify this desire, that we become Krishna conscious and we become the instruments of our Guru, that we somehow surrender our lifetime, whatever we have. We don't have to be superstars in ISKCON. Be you know, a simple devotee. What is the goal? Prabhupada, someone approached Prabhupada asking, Prabhupada, I want to be like, you know, some extraordinary. Prabhupada said, just be a simple devotee. just yeah, Dasanudasi is our goal. I prepared something, I said something else. I did not prepare much. Shantatma Prabhu was on the altar, so he couldn't give class. Yeah, submission to the will of the Lord. I heard this quote, I wanted to share. Submission to the will of the Lord is the softest pillow one can rest on. What a beautiful quote, huh? Submission to the will of the Lord is the softest pillow we can rest on. Such a thing, you know, it's like when we are resting, we trust our pillow, right? We're completely giving our trust and hope and everything that we're going to be comfortable. Even now in India, there is this, when we talk about cows, irrelevant of the caste or creed, you know, where I grew up, there is a festival called Sankranti. Yeah, it's I don't know what is it today. I left India 2008.
What
So,
Makar Sankranti?
no, I'm just saying that I don't know, like when I grew up, the festival were centered on these days. The whole village celebrates. Like everybody brings cows together, you know, everybody gives something to eat to each other. You're walking on the street, they feed you on Ram Navami day with like this, I don't know if in India we make this dal, you know, there is some special dish they make for Ram Navami, you know, there is a special dish you get for Sankranti. So all the festivals are centered on God, you know, like you're walking on the street, you get to see cows being painted. It's still there, no matter you're Muslim or Christian, or the culture of serving the cows and, you know, everyone coming together. For me, till I went to Australia, I did not know what was a festival in the West. But in India, a festival means something relating to the calendar. Nothing out of it, but in the West, festival means a music festival. it's a so different culture. Yeah, the more time we are out of this Vedic culture, the more we will be dragged into trying to satisfy the senses somehow or the other. This is the danger. You could see, like, I was listening to one class by a devotee 2012. He was saying, like, TV, my God, TV killed India's culture. He was talking about this. But look, that was 2012. He gave class, but we are 12 years later. Internet has taken over. TV is like long gone. Internet is like 10 times worse, quick, than the TV. So yeah, this culture of Vaishnavism is the hope for the humanity, for every living entity. This bhakti life what we have. That's why we should share. Maharaj has been writing to us asking if he could go and distribute books for Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj. And this is, you know that Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj's disappearance day is on Thursday. So if we can distribute some books, give it to, even like the volunteers, we come, we sit with them, talk to them. If they don't have a book, we can give it to them. No need to find somebody outside. I know it's difficult to go out. Whatever we can do. We have a few minutes, maybe we can ask some questions or comments, corrections.
I have a question, but that's not really related to the class. Is it okay?
Okay, go ahead.
Because like now we see so many new ashrams in India, they are giving sannyas to women, So I recently saw that some 20-30 sannyasis, women sannyasis, they take a diksha, and the women brahmacharis and all that. So which is not the Vedic system, right? There are sampradayas.
I mean, that's even in ISKCON, sannyas is not given first of all to the ladies. Not in, I've heard in, they do this in Shivananda life. It's again not our Vaishnavism, it's something to do with Shankarites. I cannot comment on that because nothing to do with Vaishnavism.
And nothing to do with the real
Yeah, I don't think we see women sannyasis anywhere in India. Okay. Anybody has anything else to add or comment?
I had a question about what's the name of this demon that they had there to go to Vishnu to ask for help?
Vritrasura. Yeah, you can read the pastime of Vritrasura. He was
Which canto?
sixth, yeah. Krishna is nothing to do with our body. This is another example of nothing to do with our birth. Okay, anything else? Or we can finish here.
Maybe a question.
Okay, go ahead. No worries, we have time.
I'm looking what I just took from the class.
I wanted to mention that I missed out something. I can mention that Krishna sees the bhava rather than the externals. When the desires are there, Krishna sees that, this example of, how many of you know this devotee from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ramdas Vishwas? Anybody knows about him? Ramdas Vishwas? It's a very nice pastime. Ramdas Vishwas was a devotee of Lord Ram. He was always chanting Lord Ram's name. He was associating with Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, one of the 6 Goswamis, very special devotee. Raghunath Bhatta Goswami was so amazed that he was always chanting Lord Ram's name. He told him that, let's go, I will introduce you to Lord Chaitanya. They went to Puri. They walked together from Bengal, if I'm not wrong, if I'm not mistaken. And this Ramdas Vishwas was carrying on his head all the luggage of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. He was amazed, or Goswami was so amazed that he's always doing seva, he's always, chanting Lord Ram's name. As soon as they go to see Lord Chaitanya, what did Lord Chaitanya do?
He shows form.
Huh?
He shows form. He shows 8 how many arms, and he shows the form of Ram.
No. Mistaken, I think you got mixed up with that.
I don't know the person.
He asked him to chant the name of Krishna,
No, this was the brother of the father of Jiva Goswami. He asked him to chant and he said, no, I cannot. There was two devotees like that. He said Murari Gupta was one, there was Hanuman. Yeah, Ramdas Vishwas was actually an impersonalist, but his desire was to become one with Lord Ram. So Lord Chaitanya, as soon as he sees him, that Lord Chaitanya turns his face away, didn't even look at him. Raghunath Bhatta Goswami was so amazed. He asked Lord Chaitanya, what happened? He's such a good Ram Bhakta. Lord Chaitanya said he's an impersonalist. He wants to become one with Lord Ram. So yeah, we have shortcomings, but the base thing is, are we trying to become a devotee to serve the Lord or trying to take the place of the Lord? The desire has to be in line with the parampara acharyas.
So who did he show his form? This form, the form?
Chaturbhuja, he showed a 6-armed form, he showed to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. When they discussed about this series, 7 days, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya explained the Vedanta philosophy to Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya did not speak a word. After 7 days, he spoke for 3 days or 4 days, At the end, he was blown away, and Lord Chaitanya said, okay, I'll show you who I am. That's the only place that Lord Chaitanya shows that 6-armed form.
He showed it to Ramananda Roy as well.
Ramananda Roy saw the combination of how Radharani and Krishna combined to become Lord Chaitanya. That was Ramananda Roy. Different devotees, he showed different.
If I remember well, he showed his 6-armed form to Lord Nityananda. So,
he showed Lord Nityananda, when Advaita Acharya asked him, please show me this universal form. Nityananda was walking on the street. He was like, let me see what is going on in the Lord's house, and then, I think Srivasa's house, he got to see the universal form. Yes, Prabhu.
You said this is a bhav?
Bhav.
What is that, please?
Bhav means mood. Mood. There are different stages of bhakti. Bhav is one before prema. Bhav means you are already experiencing ecstatic symptoms. It's quite advanced stage.
So my question is, we talk about Parikshit Maharaj chastising Kali. Kali break 4 legs, 3 legs of Dharma, then one remain, which is truthfulness. So how can we see in the world, what does the symptoms of Dharma only, and what does it, what are the consequences of that?
You're concerned that everybody is lying. How can we see the truthfulness? Keshav Maharaj, I heard from him, he say in a class, truthfulness is seen in scripture. Scripture is widely available to everyone, especially he said Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is the basis that we are still truthful, not because of us, because of the availability and because of the acharyas giving us this shastra. This is very clear. I was thinking, being a kid, as I said, we always hear this. There is 4 pillars of dharma. Truthfulness is one. You hear this in all the movies also. I was wondering, truthfulness, it's always been a surprise because everybody's lying. Media lies, politicians lie, everybody's lying. But the shastra, it's
just to add to that, so even us as human beings in this age, we have a tendency to kind of bend the truth to suit our own needs. We will say certain things in a certain way so that it is beneficial for our cause or whatever we have in our mind to do, what our desire is. And that is ingrained within all humans right now in this age. Business, well, they have to make profit, so they have to lie.
It happens a lot between 2 people that have the same story but they have a different version. They'll colour it in the way to benefit one or the other. Just slightly, but it's enough.
And
media does this as well a lot.
Media does this. They show what they want to show to to the world. You know. It's so unfair when you are a kid, you know, news channel was in such a way, you know, they just show you this happened there, this happened now. It's like it's all about how they interpret it according to, you know.
One thing I wanted to ask is, Aryan civilization was going on with many cows. So there's many regions on this earth that we know nowadays that you cannot have cows because or it is too mountainous or too cold or too wide. So I was seeing the film of Bharat and on the background there was Aryan War and there was no America. South America and North America were not on the maps. So I was wondering, because there was no cow there, the cows were introduced by the European and the colonization, you know, the Spanish, the Portuguese, imported the cow.
Imported cow from
no cow.
India.
So I guess there was no Aryan civilization over there.
Yeah, different things can be interpreted with that, you know.
So what's the question?
The question is like, Prabhu was saying, I saw a video where, this was the US you were saying? The US you were saying that you saw there was no cows?
Yeah, well, they have an equivalent like bisons or antelopes or no cows.
In the US?
In South America and North America, some
Usually
600,000 years before.
Oh, 600,000 years before.
It's a long time.
I like that.
See, like Prabhupada said that, I mean, what I heard from Prabhupada's class, that after Maharaj Parikshit, it's the what is the son of Parikshit Maharaj's son's name? Janmejai. He ruled. After that, he kind of, his descendants divided the earth. That's when this Greek and
European came.
Yeah, first came the Greek and there was one more Latin, I think.
Italians,
Yeah, some culture.
Yeah, Greeks and the Romans.
Greeks and the Romans, you're right. So, you know, he said that he was dividing and he was still controlling the whole planet this way, that he gave the kingdom. That's why if you see Rome and Greek, they're Kshatriya kind of culture again, you know. So, this is coming before, but right before that, the culture was there, but the inhabitation of Aryans was in India only, Bharatvarsha. The outside life was there because, as you know, that during the Mahabharat war, they went and asked all the kings, you know, they went all over the world. They were, but they were not like the main civilized persons. The life was definitely there. They were drinking milk or not.
And there were other animals that they were using to have milk: goats, bulls, buffalo, different things like that. But bison, yeah, bison. Also, they used to kill bison for the meat and so on.
I was just thinking, because you talk about Vedic culture, then recently I read a purport where Prabhupada quotes Padma Purana, which said that one can accomplish all his duty, but if you don't become God conscious and Krishna conscious, then what's the point? But if one becomes God conscious, Krishna conscious, then you accomplish all his duty. Just to add.
Very famous shloka. What is that famous shloka that mantra tantra visharada? You know, a brahmana cannot, by birth, cannot liberate himself. If he's not becoming a Vaishnava, if he becomes a Vaishnava, even a Chandala, if he becomes a Vaishnava, he can liberate the whole universe. This is another famous shloka from third canto. Aha patasa pachasa jariyam yaschivagriya vartate namatubhyam tapuste kusne shushnu rarya nama grananti brahmana suriyate If you don't become a Vaishnava, you cannot liberate yourself. What to talk about liberating the whole universe? Okay, any other things we can finish here? Srimad Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Prabhupada ki
Jai. Prabhu ki Jai.